Hello again, everyone. I'm just digging out some more content for you guys, and while you wait for some Mario and Luigi, when I manage to get it. But this one's good. This one's good. This one is me against CALLOUS. Now um we had a 5 game, a best of 5 um group of matches, and obviously he won because he's better than me and whatnot. But I put up a fair fight. Um, But this is one. This is probably the one that I found most interesting. Um, I'm I'm not gonna give any more away than that. I'm just gonna press play. So he leaves with Fortress. I leave with Swampert. I immediately go. Is this the M Dragon Fortress team? Because he likes to use it so much. I go to Starmie, which is the obvious choice, and I surf just in case he goes to Gengar, which I know that CALLOUS likes to have on pretty much every team. He doesn't, he goes straight for the Hidden Power Bug, so I'm pretty sure it's the M Dragon Fortress team. Um, so I'm pretty sure I know what I'm up against. I go to Jirachi, he goes to Tyranitar, and I'm saying it looks pretty familiar. I Psychic, because it's the obvious choice. I go out to Swampert, and he Fire Blasts me, which is barely anything. And if it is the M Dragon Fortress team, then I know that this will work. Or Protect Up. He does show Hidden Power. Now it could be Hidden Power Bug, but I'm pretty sure it's Hidden Power Grass. So he Hidden Powers, and it's definitely Hidden Power Grass. And I counter the Tyranitar and goes down. So I'm very certain it's the M Dragon Fortress team. I'm not sure why he went to Dugtrio there because um, I was pretty much dead anyway, thanks to the spikes. I suppose that after that protect, I would have survived something. But anyway, here I show Cacturn, which he's so lovingly granted me the Sandstorm that makes Cacturn so effective. And I just sub up on the switch. He goes to Aerodactyl. He Hidden Powers and it misses thanks to the Sand Veil, and I Leech Seed him. I could have Focus Punched and I could have Hidden Power Darked, but I didn't want to play any funny mind games, so he gets out the way and I Hidden Power Dark, and it does a little bit to Milotic. But I know that I can just Leech Seed here quite safely. He Ice Beams, and Substitute goes down, and Leech Seed misses, so that was pretty crappy. I have to get out of the way here, obviously, because I don't want to take an Ice Beam. I go to Jirachi, who loves taking on Milotic thanks to its Thunderbolt and the fact that it resists Ice Beam, is immune to Toxic, and the only thing that can really hurt is Surf. He goes back to Aerodactyl. I could have gone for Thunderbolt here. I didn't. I went for Psychic, and I had a lucky crit. But I'm not sure it matters because, well, it does matter because Aerodactyl's down, but he counterattacks with Dugtrio, and Psychic isn't going to KO, obviously. It never does. Yep, and he just Earthquakes right here, and Jirachi goes down. So I go back to Cacturn again. I know that I can sponge an Earthquake and get a free sub anyway. He gets out of the way, goes back to Milotic. I sub because that's what you do. You've got to take advantage of it when you Cacturn, always. He Ice Beams, it breaks the sub, and this time I should land a Leech Seed, right? Yeah, I get the Leech Seed off, which is definitely puts the odds in my favour. So I get out of the way, and I go to Starmie, and he Toxics, which, would have been okay on the Starmie. It would have forced me out eventually, but the idea here was just to get in and get a free recover. He goes to Celebi, so he's pretty confident that I have Thunderbolt. I don't know why I surfed there, to be honest. I should have really just recovered. Here's a Rapid Spin. I'm pretty sure he's just going to Psychic me, which isn't going to do a whole lot. So now those spikes are gone, but I've got to recover here really. I say in the chat Dugtrio to try and play a mind game with him, and I just recover on the switch anyway. He brings in Milotic, and he gets out the way and he goes back to Celebi. He's trying to test the Thunderbolt. I do have Thunderbolt, and I do show the Thunderbolt. So he knows that the Celebi can wall the Starmie now, so I have to get out of the way really, but I've got my recover off, that's what I wanted. Go back to Cacturn, who I know can wall the Celebi because it only has Psychic as an attack, and it has Leech Seed, which also does nothing, and then it has Calm Mind and Recover, which will do nothing in this scenario. So I get a free sub up. And here comes the obvious Leech Seed. There's not really anything else to do here. See, what Cacturn is totally underrated as a Pokemon that you can use in OU because it has such a valuable niche in the fact that it can just switch in on pretty much any Celebi and wall it, downright blank it, and it can't do anything, and then it can get a free sub up and completely mess with your opponent's team from behind the substitute. It really is that good. It just requires a bit of brain sometimes. You can't switch it in on things like Ice Beam. That and Sand Veil really does give it a massive bonus in the fact that it isn't hurt by Sandstorm and that it gets the evasion boost. It can really mess behind the substitute with Leech Seed and Sandstorm in effect. It can really mess with a lot of things. So here I've got another sub up, and he Ice Beams, and I land another Leech Seed. I'm going to have to get out of the way here, obviously. I still don't want to take a Leech Seed. And I get out of the way, and I go to Skarmory, and he Ice Beams, which is the obvious choice. Leech Seed is going to give me back most of that damage, as you can see here, and I think I get a free layer of spikes here. He goes to Fortress, and nope, I get out of the way, and I go back to Cacturn. Not sure what the game plan was there. I get out of the way, and I go to Tyranitar. He hidden power bugs, which would have crushed Cacturn, and did quite a lot to Tyranitar. And then he thinks he can take the Tyranitar on for some reason, and lets it go down to Fire Blast. But it's okay because Dugtrio comes in to revenge kill. So at the moment we're 3-3, and in comes the Cacturn again, just to troll him. He Earthquakes, and it does 45% despite the resistance, but I still get off the sub. And I'm pretty confident in what I can do here, so I Focus Punch, knowing that Leech Seed wouldn't finish him. He Earthquakes and misses, thanks to Sand Veil, and Focus Punch just takes him down. CALLOUS wasn't happy about that, but what can you say, it's Cacturn. It's pretty much got a free double team boost. So here, I've been doing what I do all game, and I just land a Leech Seed on Milotic and get back a bit of health. Gets out of the way and he goes to Celebi. I'm really not sure why he did that. I suppose I could have stayed in, but I can just come back in and wall him. And yeah, in comes the Milotic again. So here he's just trying to play mind games. Starmie comes in on Milotic doing recover. I can Thunderbolt it, but Milotic's got Toxic, which would mess with the Starmie a bit. So I Thunderbolt. He Toxics and it misses. He's really not happy at the moment. I'm not laughing because I find it, funny that he's missing. It's just kind of it's the sort of laughter that you have when it's sarcastic laughter. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's not laughter in bad taste. He predicts the Cacturn switch in again. Milotic comes in. I have to get out of the way just in case he Toxics, so I go to Skarmory and he recovers again. I'm not really sure who's getting the best of each side of the loop. He can continue Toxicking, but the only way he's actually going to win is if he lands a Toxic on the Cacturn, and I just won't let him do that. I'll always be switching into Starmie or Skarmory when I see the Milotic, so yeah. His Toxic misses again, but this time it lands. I get off a Thunderbolt, which doesn't do a lot of damage, and I know that he knows that he can just storm me out with Toxic damage and recover off the Thunderbolt damage, but I have to go for the Thunderbolt anyway to try and land the crit. At the moment, I'd say the odds are in CALLOUS's favour. I'm not sure what I was doing here. I knew it wasn't going to toxic, but all I'm really doing is baiting the toxic. I mean, I suppose I did it in case he tried to surf a Skarmory or something. Here I'd get back to Starmie, and I'd get landed with toxic again. I don't care because I can recover it off and then just switch out. Instead I go for Thunderbolt. I think we were both at the moment, at this point in time, just trying to play mind games with each other, where he thought I would switch out to Cacturn, or he was going for Ice Beam so that he could hit both Skarmory and Cacturn. Um, in the battle I understood what I was doing. At this moment in time, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I get out of the way and I go back to Skarmory. He Ice Beams and it does 27%, and I have to get out of the way just in case, because, well, he will surf on the next turn if he doesn't Toxic. Toxic into Skarmory would be pretty boss, but he just goes for the surf. He obviously has to do his best to get rid of the Skarmory, because that's, even though I'm not really bringing out the Skarmory much, it's mostly Starmie. Even though I'm not bringing out the Skarmory much, it is pretty vital to my play at the moment. So here I'm just landing another Thunderbolt. He's going to surf me. Yep, he's going to surf me, and then I'm going to take more toxic damage, and then I'm going to have to get out of the way unless I recover again. So I get out of the way and I go to Cacturn. Does he go for surf? No, he goes for recover. I'm in a bit of a sticky situation at the moment. I'm going to have to get out of the way to Starmie again. He does Toxic on the switch, and I'm just going to have to go for the straight up recover. That's the only option I have open to me at the moment. So I do. And this is going to get into a pretty stallish loop until something breaks, until either I stay in for a turn and he gets a crit, which would be pretty disastrous, or I get a crit. A single crit from Starmie would end the game. Here I make a ballsy switch and I go to Cacturn because I really don't want Skarmory to take any damage. So I predict the surf and I go into Cacturn on the surf and it works. And then I predict the toxic and go to Skarmory. But I can't play this game forever and I have to go back to Starmie and he surfs, which is better than the toxic. So yeah, this loop's going to go on for a while, and well, it has been going for a while. I don't know how much longer it goes on for, but the odds at this moment, as long as I don't make a stupid mistake, a Thunderbolt crit would be more devastating than a Surf crit from him. He's going to Ice Beam me, and it's not going to do a whole lot. Obviously, he was predicting a switch to either Cacturn or Skarmory, but either one would have done a lot. Would have put me in a sticky situation, but I don't let him, and I just recover. I should have really switched out there, to be honest, because his recover was obvious. The ways he can lose is either if I land a crit, or I predict him on a turn where he doesn't recover. Unfortunately, that turn he lands a crit with Ice Beam, and now the game looks to be his, to be honest. But I somehow get I also get a Thunderbolt crit, and that pretty much seals the Milotic out. The only way he can survive now is if he switches out the Milotic, and he does, and I Thunderbolt, and I know that this turn he's going to go straight back to the Milotic, he can predict the Cacturn switch, and I'm not going to let him get away with it. He does go straight back to the Milotic. The Milotic comes in, and Thunderbolt takes him down. Now the game looks pretty much sealed to be mine. The only way I can lose is if I don't land a crit with Cacturn's Hidden Power Dark from this point onwards. If I don't land a crit with Hidden Power Dark, and then he outstalls me with PP, he PP stalls me out of all attacks, and I end up struggling myself to death. That's the only way I can lose. So here I'm just plugging away with Hidden Power Dark. I didn't really see a reason not to. he's just going to Carmine up and try and tank my attacks. It won't make much of a difference because if I did land a crit, it's a straight one-hit KO. On the vast majority of Celebi, I've checked many a times, and it always deals just above 50% hidden power dark. Like literally, I think it's like 203 damage, which would be just over 50% of Celebi. But yeah, here's my plan in here is to just plug away with hidden power dark. He can calm mind up all he wants. The only thing he can do is recover stall. He can't touch the Cacturn directly. The only way he'll ever touch the Cacturn is through my struggle and his struggle when we get to a struggle war. But the odds aren't really in his favour because the chances of me landing a crit at some point, I've still got at this point I've still got 16 hidden power PP left, so the odds are they have been in my favour. I still haven't landed the crit, but yeah, it looks like the game should be mine, pending some crap like I don't get a crit, which is looking like what's happening at the moment. He keeps calm minding up. Hidden power's not doing a whole lot. The sub isn't really there for any reason, to be honest. It's just a way to waste PP, I suppose. I'm thinking at this point I might have actually, at this point onwards, I should really be switching out to Starmie so that on predicted calm minds and recovers. At the time I didn't see any reason to withhold PP, but I think I should have been playing around a bit and trying to get him to waste some PP so that I can then be on more even terms with him if it came to a struggle war, or maybe positive. He's now leech seeding just because he can. It's not going to do anything, but he's just trying to leave all of his psychics for later, so if I do run out of PP, I'd have to bring in the Starmie, and then Psychic would do a whole lot. So this loop's going to go on for a while. Normally in this situation, this is what my Cacturn's kind of designed for, because Hidden Power Bug wouldn't actually do the trick. If I've done the calculations, and if I changed my set to be a max attack Cacturn with Hidden Power Bug, it would actually do less than the set that I have at the moment, which is, I believe, something like Naughty Nature, with Hidden Power Dark and a hell of a lot of special attack EVs. But the fact that it gets Stab and it hits Celebi on its weaker side, because remember, all Celebi pretty much invest in defense, like Bold Nature with 220 defense EVs, whereas it doesn't put anything into special defense. So all it takes really is a crit to just down the Celebi in one hit. So this is what the Cacturn's designed for, and it's the first time it's actually failed at its job, to be honest. I've had it in this sort of situation before, and it's always pulled through. But we eventually come to the conclusion that it's probably best off if we call it a draw, and we don't count this match towards our 5-match best of 5 whatnot. I mean, it could really just go either way, and there's not really much point running out this stall war because it's really just going to get pathetic, to be honest. It's just going to be a struggles, and he can't touch the Cacturn, and I can't really touch the Celebi once I'm out of Hidden Power Darks, which I can't, so we just agree on a tie, and that's that. But I thought the game itself was pretty interesting. Specifically the fact that how he managed to stay alive with the Celebi, and the whole stall war with Milotic slightly before that. But if you like this, tell me about it, make a comment and like the video and whatnot. CALLOUS will probably be uploading the rest of the videos at some point, the ones that we played. If you want to know I won't give it away now. If you want to know, then watch his videos. what am I doing? Giving away the result. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, then tell me, please. I know that people watch these. And I shall see you at some point later, hopefully with some Mario.